Howdy, old heads. Kurt Money here, alongside my co-host, Mrs. Colombo. And we're here to celebrate... Oh, you want some more? And we're here to celebrate Poker Face, hearing my complaints or mild gripe that they needed to drop all the mob is in hot pursuit stuff.
Beatrix Haas says hello!
Because they done did it in episode 3, and I think it's because they heard me out.
No.
And also I'm here to celebrate that the next 3 episodes, we got all bangers. That's 4 in a row. This is Gateway. So yeah, it all goes down in episode 3, which, I mean, look, let's be real. That episode had already dropped when I recorded the video about the premiere. I don't want to have to do the we're on the run from the mafia thing again all season. Because these mafia dudes, they're just a little too goofy for my liking. So it's not like they really hurt me, okay? But I like to feel that I'm on the same wavelength with Poker Face. Like Charlie is with the alligator in the Kumail episode, okay? There's me and Poker Face as a show in general. We're vibing. We are really vibing right now.
Guys, let's not be hasty here. Surely there must be some sort of a gator due process.
But yeah, I'm all caught up. I'm not here to break down them all beat by beat, but I got fun stuff to say about episode 2 at the funeral home, episode 3 with John Mulaney, and episode 4, the newest one, with Kumail Nanjiani as a southern gator dude.
Don't do math.
Gator done. That was good stuff. You should use that one instead of the other one.
How many goddamn catchphrases does one guy need, huh?
Episode 2 starts with a classic setup for movies and TV shows in that you don't realize it, but this is a scene from a movie. You're always thinking, uh-oh, somebody died. Oh, pull back. This is a movie set. It happens all the time. Most recently, I saw it in a movie called, it's on Shudder. What's it called? Mute Witness. That's it. Mute Witness did it.
God, brilliant. Natasha!
Brian De Palma does it a bunch.
Hey, get him out of here. Come on, raise the camera. Joe, give me a hand here. Something's the matter with him.
And I loved it here, but what I think this brought to the table that I hadn't seen before, I don't think, is that the murder that we see in the beginning of the movie inspires the real murder that happens in the episode later. And is used to cover up the crime. That was cool as hell. Where Gus Fring is in there swinging the same weapon, using that blood spatter, and using the crew to clean it up. That was awesome. That was a step I've never seen before, so well done, Poker Face, on that. I love anything set in a funeral home, okay? Especially when it's an old house like this, with all this fancy stuff, and ever since 6 Feet Under, I think it's been a great place for a setting.
This is what you've been running away from your whole life, buddy boy.
And I wonder if funeral homes still exist like this, where the people live in the house, they show it in the house, and they're doing all the body stuff in the basement, including cremation. I don't know if that's still a thing now, but it was a great setup for this episode. Katie Holmes did not want to be there. That song, Sleepwalk, is a banger, though. I'm going to disagree with her there.
I hate the slide guitar.
And speaking of banging, I guess it's Ring. That Ring My Bell, I don't care for that song.
Ring my bell, I told him.
But I knew why they were using it. They were setting up a joke that you see coming a mile away when they're at the campfire.
15 years of marriage and never rung my bell.
And it brings me to my only issue with this episode, and that's Charlie's vape. It's not against the vape itself or that Charlie vapes. You know what? Her smoking or vaping, I don't care which one it is. I think she needs a vice, though, like that, because it's another physical thing that makes people uncomfortable around her, a la Columbo's stogie, right?
See, I don't even want this. I haven't had coffee yet.
She's got to have something like that. And the vape plays a big role here. At the beginning, I couldn't stop thinking about this. When she's like, I got to go get batteries for my vape.
That's the one downside with these things is they run on batteries.
Now look, I Googled it. Apparently those vapes do exist. But as far as I understand it, all the vape, most of them, if not all, charge via USB. Especially the ones she'd be getting from a gas station on the run and stuff. Look, I'm not proud that I know that. And actually, my money, if you're watching, I don't know that. And I don't even know what vapes are, so we're just going to move on. Anyway, but I couldn't get past the battery bit until the end of the episode. Well, and they kind of tease it throughout that batteries are going to play a role here somehow. Because they make it clear that batteries cannot go into the cremation pit.
It's a fire safety issue. Anything with a battery will explode in the crematorium furnace.
We see it come up again when Gus Fring is taking the toothbrush out of Katie Holmes's luggage to throw the batteries away. So it all makes sense at the very end when Charlie throws her vape into the fire with the batteries so that could explode and save the day. It all paid off for me in the end, but it was just a sticking point throughout the whole I'm going, why have her go pick up double A's? Well, actually, she needed to. She had to meet the cool guy in the parking lot that was like, do you want your car to be in a movie?
Sorry for the chase. What year is this?
Oh, and speaking of blowing up fires, I watched this Poker Face where Charlie is about to be cremated. She pushes her way into the box. And then I was watching the old Batman TV series to make some shorts. Little plug for my shorts feed.
Good, honey.
But there was an episode where Adam West is tied up, and he's on the conveyor belt, and he throws a lighter into it so that it explodes. I mean, I'm telling you, I watched these things in the same day. So I just loved that, seeing those kind of parallels. There's one later, too, in another ep. Anyway, it's at the end of ep 2 when Beatrix is in the back of her car with a gun to Charlie's head.
You know better than that, Charlie Cale. Those things will kill you.
And, I guess she was right. She is more hardcore than Ron Perlman's crew, right? So this was cool. I mean, I didn't see this coming because, again, I was thinking whole season of this, but boom, asked and answered. Beatrix is there. We're dealing with this in episode 3, my friends.
Hey, remember, okay? I was on the phone.
Oh, am I boring you?
Where, of course, Charlie's life is saved because Beatrix wants to use her human lie detector for her purpose. Because she's in like a gang war. She needs to know who on her crew is a rat or a mole. There's a fun back and forth about a rat, a mole, and which is which.
There's a rat in my crew. Possibly a mole.
Hey, would you remind me, what exactly is the difference?
And I love that by the end of the we know which is which, because there was a rat in her crew and a mole in the FBI. So I guess mole is just when it applies to like cops and stuff. Anyway, the whole who's the rat thing, we get a ton of fun out of this. I love the scene when she finally gets Charlie to her crew and she's like, okay, you got to go in there, pretend you're so-and-so, and find out which one of these MFers is going to rat me out. And she's like, do not, these are tough guys in there, so play it cool. And Charlie just walks in and sits down and goes, any of you guys ratting her out?
So any of you guys working for the feds?
No.
Great, got what I needed.
I love that because that's truly all she needs to do to ask. Like, so unless they didn't answer her and just straight up killed her right then, I was waiting for that to happen, and it felt great when it did. And then, of course, it's Richard Kind that's the rat. Anyway, he's funny as hell. We got a lot of big names in this app. Like John Mulaney, kills it as the mole on the FBI side. They had this fun runner where he was like using lip reading to know what people were talking about. And then there's like a lot of fun with him and Charlie's friend in the FBI, like they love musical theater. There's a lot of fun stuff with the lip reading that had me dying.
Life is not as bad as it seems. Bad as it seems. If you keep your bowl on sight, you can...
keep your goal in sight? He's the best lyricist of the 20th century. Why would he write bowl on sight?
And there's a lot of good, like, fun twists and stuff involving the cockpit and who got shot and who got really shot and blah, 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 blah.
Jeffrey's dead, and it's all your fault!
Listen.
All right, but let's talk about this ending. Of course, she saves Beatrix's life, and the old payoff for the FBI guy, who is yet again going to get a promotion thanks to Charlie, is like, Beatrix, you got to promise to drop that hit on Charlie. And she agrees.
Cancel the hit on Charlie.
And right then and there, we're done, baby. Like, that's it for the mobs are chasing her thing. Now she's just got an open road ahead of her. And they even hit you with, like, this season on Poker Face.
This season on Poker Face.
Which is funny because we're already at the end of episode 3 doing this. There's only 7 more episodes. But I love it because it's exactly what I was waiting for and other fans were waiting for, where it's like, let's just have fun with her on the road. And then episode 4 opens up and she's literally, without this device of having her on the run, she's just got a map out and is like, dropping her finger anywhere. And it's like, well, I guess I'm going here now. And she's got a CB radio and she's talking to a dude that's Steve Buscemi, credited as Good Buddy. You know he's coming back because one is Steve Buscemi, okay? But also, so that seems to be the thread. And I'll bet you that the season ends with Charlie having to clear his name or Charlie having to solve his murder. I bet that's what'll wrap it all up. Because you know we're going to see that dude on cam. I mean, come on.
10-4, Good Buddy.
And now on to Kumail Nanjiani as like this TikTok cop guy who owns an alligator and stuff. And Gabby Hoffman is jealous that he wins all the awards at like the cop award show. I saw some critics say that this was like too quirky for its own good, and I hard disagree. I loved all the bits of quirk. Like the fact that it was an award show for cops was so funny because it was just classic setup punchline stuff where it's like, oh, the award for best undercover agent can't be handed out because he couldn't be here tonight. And then we see the janitor. He was here tonight, but he was undercover. That's great. And then the best IA investigation. And everybody boos.
And up next, best internal affairs investigation.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. So anyway, in this episode, she's like jealous that Kumail keeps winning like best cop award. And so she accidentally kills him by misjudging like his energy drink supplements or something. Like she puts the wrong amount of poison in there. It's too much. Like she has to flip the number upside down.
This was a mistake. This was a big
And speaking of like parallel things between Charlie and Adam West being on the conveyor belt and making the thing blow up, how weird is it in this exact same week that this episode aired, Gator Done, on the studio, it was the same thing where they couldn't understand what 2/8 were, and they misjudged how many mushrooms Bryan Cranston was going to have.
It's fine. They're a microdose, okay?
They are not a microdose.
They are. There's 2/8 of a gram in each one.
What? No, 2/8 of an ounce.
So that was pretty funny, right? Literally the exact same week, and it's like a misunderstanding about drug dosage. Anyway, I love it.
You gave him too much?
And so now I'm all caught up, and I can't wait for Thursday. I'll definitely be giving you my thoughts. Do they do next-ons in this show? I don't know. I don't like to watch it. I like to be surprised the next week. I just fire it up. Oh, and you know, another weird thing about this episode 4 was nothing happened to the killer, even though she was caught out. This is weird because she like admitted she accidentally kills Kumail and then drugs up the alligator to make the alligator eat him. And while it's true she accidentally drugged him to death, she did not accidentally feed his body to a gator. But the cop is like, oh, forget it. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Case closed or whatever.
Fran, that is the most Florida man shit of all time.
But it's cool that she says, no, I need to be punished. And she ends it like scooping alligator poop at the place with the activists. Oh, the whole activist thing was cool too, because if it weren't for Charlie, there would not have been a crime to investigate. Even the activists are like, well, now that the alligator ate human, it wants human blood, it must be murdered. And because Charlie has like a cosmic connection with this alligator, she's like, no, I know this alligator, he wouldn't do that, you know, and I'm gonna prove it.
Don't shoot. This gator's been framed.
So this was like a fun, light episode. Maybe that's what the reviews were saying was too quirky, but I was freaking loving it. But that's gonna do with it. Thanks for riding another wave with me through Kurt Money's Mind Grapes. If you haven't seen my previous Poker Face video, here's a link to it. That was posted on our True Crime channel. It's not on the Mind Grapes one. I made it for our True Crime podcast page, but he thinks the algorithm does not like to promote news items, true crime, with like thoughts on movies and TV shows. I feel like it breaks the algorithm's brain. So that's why all that kind of stuff is happening here on the Mind Grapes. All the true crime stuff is over there on ILH. So hit subscribe, and hey, pop over to ILH and hit subscribe there for the Dateline recap show I do with Caitlin. She's my co-host then. Just the missus for this part though. Am I right, my lady? She gets it. And actually, you know what? More importantly than the subscribing, just make sure that please recognize TibetBoat before you go to bed tonight. Just recognize it, acknowledge it, appreciate it. TibetBoat.